instead of being who we are, we're like totally different, like Italian or a bank robber or something. Totally different.
I thought you said different.
So what is it if we're in a puddle right now on another Earth?
That would be a parallel universe. That's like Back to the Future.
Yes.
Oh, so parallel universes are only created by time traveling to create the parallel universe.
Well, technically, all possibilities run their course. You're just in the choices that you make now. You only recognize the world that you're in and the choices you make, but all possibilities run their course.
So, like, the multiverse would be like Thomas was saying, in one world, we're doing this right here. In another multiverse, we're doing something completely different, but we're the same people. Or switched or whatever.
Yeah.
So a parallel universe is like when you make a decision. So, like, I might, like, go for this cup here and drink this water. But that branches off to where, you know, there's one universe that's created for me going for the diet Sundrop instead of the water. But then your decision of how many gulps you take, like you're talking about earlier today, Thomas, you blinking or whatever. Each time you make an action,
it changes every action, therefore
splits.
So, like, if you go for the water, you may have to piss in 30 minutes. So if you go for the sun drop, you may have to piss in an hour.
Is that like a butterfly effect thing or a Schrodinger's
like,
cat thing?
Kind of like both, because like everything you do has branches off. So there's an infinite amount of possibilities of what you would have done and how the outcome is. But when you make that decision, you branched off and created another parallel universe where you did the opposite decision.
Oh, so that's more butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you wake up in the morning and before you drive to work, you spill coffee on your pants, so you have to go inside and change clothes.
Yeah, but if you...
Then you come outside and start driving.
Gotcha, but if
you avoid a car crash.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But if you had left on time, you would have been in the car crash.
Yeah.
That's that old saying, everything happens for a reason.
But I think there's more more to that. I think it's more of like you spill the coffee on your pants and you brush it off. You know, like you get hot coffee on you and you can either stop, go inside the house, or you can sit there in the coffee, or you can wipe the coffee off of you, or you can drive down the road, get some napkins, and dry the coffee off of you. Each one of those decisions...
there's endless possibilities.
And each one you do...
The coffee could cause a crash, too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But like each one you do branches off and keeps segmenting a different route.
And then to go backwards from that, the act of spilling the coffee is created from thousands of other possibilities. Were you in a rush? Did you hold the coffee cup good enough? Did you make it too quickly?
Right.
Just were you holding it with your right hand or left hand? Did you take a drink of it? Was it too full? I mean, there's more than we can think of as to why you spilled that cup of coffee.
Right.
Well, did you wake up on time when your alarm went off?
And your decisions influence the other person's decisions, which messes up their timeline. So, I mean, that's why there's infinite. It could be billions upon billions, you know, like the...
well, that's kind of like the Groundhog Day movie, where he wants to have sex with the girl that he has a crush on. So every day he gets a little bit closer, and then the next day he'll do something wrong and he'll take 5 steps back. So he'll figure out, okay, I can't do that tomorrow because that didn't get me any further. So he like chisels away at how to get to that point where he's actually in bed with that girl.
Yeah,
and it takes him
to get a nut.
But it takes him a long time. But he like you were saying, like he figures out the perfect plan to get to the outcome that he wants to achieve. But getting there, he realized which way not to go and which way to go. But it did affect everyone else's day by his actions, you know, what he did. But yeah, that's kind of how Groundhog Day goes. He created his perfect day.
He plays out all the variables until he finally gets the perfect one.
Mm-hmm.
Because they never truly said how many days he lived that same day.
And I'm sure there are days we didn't see. Like, you think...
Oh, I'm sure he lived thousands
like, do you
of
think
days.
there's a day where he just did something totally morally, like, reprehensible?
Yeah, he
killed himself.
He stole the groundhog and drove off of a cliff.
No, I'm talking, like, truly terrible.
Yeah, there were... well, he didn't, like, I don't think
He drove that group of people into a train.
Like today, I think I'm going to try 9/11.
He killed himself a few times. I think he went on a little bit of a shopping spree, I think.
Like, you ever think one day he's just totally frustrated, couldn't get that woman, so he just went and, like, raped her or something crazy?
he did have sex with that other woman a few times.
Yes, he did have sex
The
with
easy
a
woman.
really, really hot girl. He punched Ned. He punched
Ned, was it Ryerson?
Yes, Ryerson. He punched him in the face one time, knocked him out.
Nice.
Yeah, he definitely lost it a little bit.
He tried to make toast in the bathtub.
He robbed a bank, didn't he?
Probably. I don't remember that part.
Well, anyway,
He jumped off the top of the building.
Yeah,
like
he
a church
tried
or
to commit
something.
suicide a few times. Threw a toaster in the bathtub once.
Yeah.
So,
Jumped off a building. Yeah. He did a few of those. But anyways, that movie definitely shows the different your choices and how your choices can reflect,
right.
the end result of the day.
Which that what we're talking about is what they call daughter universes. That's what that's called.
Okay, I think I could go down a Pornhub route, but
Well, this one, what we've been talking about, you've been talking about Groundhog Day, and we'll talk about decisions you make.
Yeah.
So this universe is, if you follow laws of probability, it suggests that for every outcome that could come from one of your decisions, there will be a range of universes, each of which saw one outcome come to be. So, like, if you got a job in China, you got that job in China. One universe is you fly to China, you land somewhere differently, but then you decide not to go to China, and then it just keeps snowballing.
Right. Like, you never go back.
Yeah. So that's what we're just talking about.
So you're saying
It's
if
pretty
I
much
wouldn't have
infinity.
masturbated in church at a young age, that may have led to me working for NASA now.
Could have.
Possibly.
Could have, yeah.
Fuck.
The way Alex is
The
saying
prob-
it, it's like an infinite amount of changes.
It's just
Like, it's
Yeah.
not even billions. It's just for everything.
infinite.
It spreads off there infinite.
and
First thing you do,
Right.
infinite.
It's just flat, and everything keeps branching off flat, like a flat plane.
Right. And you only comprehend the one that you're living. You can never fathom all the other ones because every tiny action has some other effect to that action.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that you're breathing has infinite possibilities right now.
Right.
But can
Which is
you
weird.
can you go back and think, like, what could have made me be a different Thomas now? What, like, let's say you're totally heterosexual, but what do you think could have happened in your life to make you homosexual?
I don't know now.
I don't
So
know.
I'm thinking it would be when Thomas was swimming up his mom to make himself.
What?
You broke up? I didn't even hear it.
All right.
You said
What?
swimming with his
All right.
mom and what?
So
What?
back in the day when he was conceived, it wasn't Thomas that won the swimming competition. It was a different Thomas.
Oh, you're talking about inside swimming in her
Like-
belly.
Conception.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like a different Thomas comes out.
You're
today.
saying
Yeah.
biologically he'd have to be different.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
always one of those people.
that could be one of-
I don't know how it works.
that could be one of the infinite possibilities,
One of
but
those.
it would be too hard. It would be too hard to think of that. Wait, what?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either.
I heard it.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it again.
Did you say one of those?
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Well, so
Well, with the infinite possibilities, you would never know because the people that you affect in your life,
Yes.
you don't know how that would change their infinite possibilities as well.
Correct.
yeah,
So
that's
there's
the
no
back.
way-
That's the Back to the Future thing. Like if you go back in time and change something, it'll change the future that you came from.
Right.
Yes. You
So
rewrite.
you
your
can't change
timeline.
those. Yeah, you can't change those decisions that have already been made unless you
Right.
don't want to marry your wife in the future.
It's the grandfather paradox.
Yeah, like if you don't want to marry your wife, you technically could go back in time and fucking slap her when she comes up and talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then if you went back to your same timeline, it would be changed, but the other one would not.
Well,
But
we
you
don't
could-
know how
but you could do
our
what-
time travel would work.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
Or you can do
that's
like Captain America did in Avengers, where he went back in time
No,
and
I don't think I will.
right. Let's say he went
That
back
was a
in
plot
time,
hole.
right? Everybody knows that plot hole. It don't make sense. He just gave that's a middle finger to Bucky, right?
Well,
Well,
no,
that too,
he
but-
went back in time, but I think he went back in time and he lived like we live now, where he stayed at home and social distanced from everyone.
Now,
How did he get old though?
That's what I'm saying. He went
went-
back in time and stayed in the 50s. Bucky was captured,
No,
so he just let Bucky.
Because I didn't think he could get old.
So he went back in
Well, he was still a
time
person.
and got with what's her name? What was his girl's name?
Peggy.
Peggy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he went
Did
back
he
in time, got with Peggy, even though she was married. So he cucked the guy
Yes.
and lived with her
Peggy.
until she died. And then I'm
he
assuming,
got peggied by Peggy.
for it not to be a plot hole, he waited until he was old. Then he traveled back.
No, I think he was
I don't-
old because he stayed back in a time period and we just ended up there at the same
Yeah.
time.
But earlier in the
Yeah,
movie, it established that if you go back in time, it's a different universe. It's a different timeline.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
went.
Can't-
But is Captain America able to become old the whole time, or is he?
yeah, he can always
remains
become
young?
old.
Yeah, he's still a person. He just has enhanced strength.
See, they're telling us
agility.
though that he went back in time and got with Peggy, and then he just got old.
He just went back into the same timeline with his self.
I'm sorry, they froze him, and that's why he remained that way. That's
No.
why he looked
Right.
that
but he
way.
didn't save
No.
Bucky.
Yeah,
He should have.
no. So because in the timeline he went back, there's two Captain Americas.
Yes.
He just took himself off the board, so he didn't change anything other
No,
than being
so
with
see-
Peggy.
so-
Yes, should have changed a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
Captain America's in the past. He's like, "Lol, should I say anything about 9/11 happening?"
Lots of lettuce.
He came
Let it happen.
after that. He don't know anything about that. Anyway, so we have bubble universes. It's another theory of a type of parallel universe, and this comes from eternal inflation. When looking at space-time as a whole, some areas of space stop inflating, like the Big Bang inflated in our universe. Others, however, will keep getting larger. So if we picture our own universe as a bubble, it is sitting in a network of bubble universes of space. And what this means is that each bubble could have its very own laws of physics. So that would
wow.
tie into like the
NASA
findings,
findings.
where we're in our own bubble. Everything in our universe is following by the same basic physics. And then that bubble universe, it's a completely different game. You know, we breathe arson or
Right.
something. Whatever the fuck ever it is.
yeah.
Right. And we're just seeing traces of it cross through ours.
Right. Because it just perfect moment. Yeah.
And that has a theory about the Mandela effect as well, because of alternate realities crossing paths and intertwining themselves.
Right. And people having
Yeah.
memories cross over. Yeah.
I want to go to the universe where we're not using 10% of our brain. We're using 100% of our brain, and we can do telekinesis, and we can move objects with our minds. And
Well, that would make you
start fires.
that would make you 11th dimension being.
Dude, if we could use 100% of our minds, but we still had our capacity of now, we would just sit here and make ourselves come everywhere.
I don't think.
You think
so.
we'd be that weak?
No, I think if I used 100% of my brain, it wouldn't be about like getting your nut. You'd probably be doing some crazy shit with your brain.
Yeah, you'd be
Yeah,
figuring
true.
out how to become a trillionaire, but then the world would be full of trillionaires.
No,
so then
it
it would
wouldn't even
become
be
a
about
normal
money,
world.
dude. I'd be downloading my consciousness into a cloud just to like be shot.
The cloud,
into
you
space.
trust the
like
cloud?
a literal
No.
cloud.
No, like,
You'd have
a
your own
literal-
cloud. You'd invent your own cloud. There would be no
I'm gonna
cloud.
rain my
Your
consciousness
mind
down on
is
the
the
whole
cloud.
universe.
like I'm
Can you imagine-
transcending the human condition into the stars I go.
That's the thing. You can transcend to another dimension. You have the power. 100% of the brain power, baby.
Like
They have made a movie about
I'm
that
just
with
saying,
Morgan
like
Freeman
my
and
brain's waves can go through a black hole.
Scarlett Johansson?
Oh, that's
I
the
think
one.
that was
That's the one where he took the pill.
No, that was the Bradley Cooper movie.
That was the Bradley Cooper movie, and then there's that old Hollywood thing where they made another movie exactly the same with fucking Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
She had the bag of drugs and rupture inside of her stomach.